All right. Hello. Hi. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Catherine Hall, and I'm actually popping in with a question. And this is really about projectors and human design. And this is a little bit of a departure normally. So I write, if you follow my work, I write the column Aniata Speaks. And it's this kind of prophetic, oracular passage, weekly passage, where I really delve into these kind of deep, sweeping questions, and receive a lot of beautiful and practical answers I've really been sitting with. So, um, these times of transition, and specifically, I'm going to frame this for projectors, and it's kind of a question for projectors. But if you're not a projector and you have some ideas for it, please do. This is for everyone who has insights on this. But I'm really going to be asking today about what it means to wait for an invitation and what that means at a personal level. So, the reason this is coming up now is this just feels like such a powerful time of transition, like big tectonic shifts happening at those subterranean levels and moving into the surface level. And I know personally for me, I am about to release my latest book, Aniata Speaks, A Tale of Creation as Told by the Fae. And I have been really just deeply immersed in the womb of that creation for the past year and possibly longer, but consciously immersed for the past year. And I'm emerging now, and the book is getting ready to come out. It's got a release date for next month, and I'm in those stages of editing, those final stages and creation and design, and now as I'm lifting my head, I'm thinking, well, what's next? What's next? And I've been building this kind of this. I'm the founder of Books of Eden Publishing, and work with people to edit their books, and I'm working with some authors to publish a new round of books. But I'm feeling like there's something else, like calling. And what I keep coming up against, and this is where, as the listener, right, especially if you are a projector, if you don't know what that is, I really recommend going and finding your human design chart, because um I've looked into a lot of those different frameworks, and I find them all really useful. I've liked the gene keys. There's different personality tests you can take, but human design is the reason I like it, is that it hasn't been wrong yet, right? I know that it's not all of who I am, and it can't tell me everything about myself, but what it can tell me, it hasn't been wrong yet. And so I really like playing with it. And so for projectors, just as a quick overview, generally what defines them is that they don't have an activated sacral center, which means that in general, projectors we have inconsistent access to creational energy. And we also we also have these types of auras that are very penetrating. And so when we're with someone, we are really very connected with that person, whether we're working one-on-one or we're in a crowd or we're in a group. We're very aware and very connected with everyone there, and so that can be very exhausting. So we often need a lot of time for rest. And lately I've been going into these times of rest, but I also feel very activated with ideas and like this transition and what's next. And so a big question that I have for all of you out there who are human design projectors, or have insights into this, is just what happens when you are coming up against sometimes that inability to how do I put this? Often in the past, I've created, and the things I've created in those bursts of energy were things that I couldn't sustain necessarily, because then the energy would run out. And if I'd created something wasn't that didn't ebb and flow with my own natural energy systems, and I wouldn't be able to sustain it. So in these moments of transition, when we know we're being called to something, right? When we know that there's a transition on us, um, there's something waiting for us to step into. I mean, the strategy of the projector is to wait for an invitation, right? And so that's my question: is how do you handle those types of that kind of tension, where there's something you're called to, you feel very strongly about it, And yet, if especially when it's a big decision around a big thing you're going to create around, your life, your career, love, um, how do you work with that tension? How do you hold that tension while you wait for the invitation and not rush it or, um, try to make something happen that isn't ready yet, or I know that the other thing is, I personally have my heart center activated. So I do have access to a great amount of willpower. Like that's a consistent thing for me. And it's been clear in my past as an elite athlete and all these things, like I will myself, and so I'm just curious, just putting it out there, like for other projectors, how have you worked with these types of transitions? What did those invitations look and feel like? What has it been like for you? And I just have to mention that as I'm talking, my cat is going insane. She's running around in circles. She's only done this once or twice, and she's not chasing anything that I can see anyway, nothing in this visible dimension. So she doesn't do that very often, so she's very activated right now, which is really funny. But anyway, so yeah, so just putting it out there for just a question, a discussion, a discourse. What is that like for you, other projectors, when you're in those moments of transition and you feel the calling of something, right? But you also feel that the wisdom and the patience of allowing it to emerge in its own time. Just some personal stories, some discourse. I would love that from anyone. Anyone who has anything to share. All right, thank you. This is Catherine Hall, signing off for the moment. Also, do keep an eye out for my book that's coming out if that interests you. It's one of those beautiful kind of sweeping works that really brings you back into the heart of who you are and what you're capable of. So anyway, so more on that. But anyway, let's stick to the question now. So I look forward to hearing from you.